Have you read a story in the Draoithe Saga and come away with a classic case of immersion after effect? Let me guess, there are questions which remain unanswered even as the magic expanded, adding another layer to the dream. The grand desire to turn the page to discover what happened next ended with the last leaf turned. If you're asking where the remedy for the book Hangover is, you know the answer: read another story. But you aren't ready for the next tale, not yet. The dust needs to settle before you pick up the next volume. So you have found your way here. You aren't alone. Even the author can't get enough. As you hear this, Ophelia Key writes on. But allow me to offer you a possibility, a reflection on the tale you recently finished, and a way to revisit the story to ease the story blues. Welcome to the Draoithe Saga After Party. Warning, spoiler alerts ahead. Turn back now if you wish to read the story blind.
Welcome back, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're plunging into quite a rich narrative. It's blends paranormal romance, magical realism, urban fantasy. We're looking at Lunar Dark by Ophelia Key. It's part of her Mystic Dark miniseries, which itself is 65 So our mission, like always, is to pull out more insights, give you a shortcut to this, pretty complex world.
Exactly. Think of it as your quick guide to a universe where, myths, legends, fairy tales are real. They walk among us, basically, in this place called the Dream.
And the author describes it as more than just a story, right? An experience.
That's the word she uses. And we're here to help you get a handle on the web of relationships, the magic system, and this central struggle to restore balance.
So what's in it for you, our listener? Well, it means we're about to explore a world where ancient prophecies aren't just predictions. They're actual living spells, potentially dangerous ones.
And where personal choices get tangled up with these huge destinies, even finding a partner can lead to major revelations about yourself and reality itself.
We're talking fated mates, chaos magic, a fight for the dream.
Absolutely. We'll look at vampires, magical guilds, hidden enclaves, show you how all these pieces fit together. We'll see how one person struggles.
Okay, let's lay the groundwork then. The Draoithe Saga. It's described as a long story of heroic achievement.
It's pretty epic in scope. At its heart, it's about founding this immortal kingdom, the Leland, which is like a sanctuary realm.
And its purpose?
To fight forces that are throwing the magic of the dream and the dream itself. It's this magical reality that feels eerily familiar, kind of like our world specifically mentions, Tyler, Texas.
And it's not just one hero journey about it. You mentioned couples.
It's mostly told through this type of human creation. It really emphasizes relationships as like the bedrock of hope and power here.
So you get different viewpoints.
Exactly. Cameos, overlapping scenes from other perspectives. It gives you this really layered view. The whole point seems to be finding balance, often through finding your life mate, which lets old magic live again.
Got it. And Lunar Dark, focus today, fits in how?
So Lunar Dark is volume 3 of the Mystic Dark miniseries. It's definitely urban fantasy, heavy on the steamy paranormal romance and fated notes.
And the source notes mention mature themes.
Oh yeah, explicit adult themes, fantasy violence, and or explicit sexual situations. That tells you straight up we're dealing with serious stakes and intense conflicts. It's not lightly.
Okay, background stuff. Let's meet Evelyn, the protagonist of Lunar Dark. Starts off seeming, normal, right? Fresh out of uni, desperate, takes a PA job.
Right, but that's just Evelyn's true identity is the real story starter. She is in fact the last Lunar Magus of her guild.
The last one.
Very last. Part of this secret group of humans practicing one of the oldest magics in the dream. And her destiny, laid out in these old prophecies, is huge. She has to cast this dangerous blood-bringing spell.
Do what?
To bring Lucifer, the king of the devils, back from a place called the Void.
Whoa, okay, bringing back the King of Devils. Why on earth would that be necessary?
Well, it sounds bad, right? But it's apparently the only way to fix the magical balance of the people in the world. This guy's who also goes by the relevant.
Huh. So it's a necessary evil, kind of?
Sort of. The prophecy is clear. If she fails, hope is lost, the magic disappears. Lucifer himself apparently wants the dream destroyed if he can't claim someone named Erlia. So Evelyn's devil's work is actually fulfilling her destiny to save their world.
That is a ton of pressure for someone just out of university. What challenges does she face?
Oh, huge ones. The spell itself is ancient, written in archaic language she can barely decipher. She's struggling with concepts like a thrall's son, this weird requirement for sacrifice of heart's blood, though she has to stay pure.
Heart's blood but pure. How does that work?
Exactly. It's contradictory and confusing. There's even mention of Cedra magic, hinting at some kind of sexual energy component needed to lure something or someone. Plus, her own magic just isn't strong enough. And Devil's Life is approaching fast. Time is running out.
Okay, let's switch to her boss, Leland Shade. Seems like your average eccentric CEO at first glance. Runs a solar energy company, but not quite.
Not even close. Leland is actually a vampire, nearly 300 years old, and he's a rogue, an outlaw even to other vampires.
So what's his deal before Evelyn shows up? What's life like for a 300-year-old rogue vampire?
Pretty bleak, honestly. The text says he's marked by loneliness, monotony, dancing on the edge of suicide despite all his power and wealth. He craves companionship and also information about what he even is.
And his diet.
Yeah, it's grim. Homeless humans, stray immortal shifters, sometimes large farm animals. Hard to picture.
Then Evelyn sparks.
This unexpected, intense attraction gets ultimate. But Leland struggles with it. He actually tries to push her away, afraid he'll hurt her or take advantage.
So he's trying not to be the monster.
He is. He's actively trying to be a better man, whatever that means for a vampire like him. He's complex, not just a villain.
And powers. What can this guy do?
He's got quite the toolkit. Allure, obviously, but also controlling fire, water, levitation, super speed, even teleportation, which is fairly unusual for an animated vampire.
Teleportation.
Yeah, and crucially, he's also learned some druid magic, which lets him use mind speak. That becomes very important later.
Okay, so Evelyn's desperate to understand the prophecy spell. She looks for help.
She does. Ends up in a bookstore in DeKalb, run by a guy named Sinclair Gautier.
Just a bookseller.
Nope. Turns out Sinclair is an immortal griffin and an old friend of Leland's.
Just a bookseller. Okay, how does she help?
He's the key. He recognizes the ancient words on the scrolls called Origin Dragon. He sees the words about a thrall's son, a vampire king, and immediately thinks of Leland.
Why Leland specifically?
Because Sinclair owes Leland a life debt. Leland helped him out against some other vampires way back. So Sinclair's vested in helping him. He sees the connection.
Meanwhile, back at the office, Leland's driver, Vic, is noticing things.
Right. Vic gives us some great intel. He sees Leland acting weirdly, delaying paperwork until Evelyn's touched it, having this anxiety about working alone.
That's specific.
Yeah, and Vic also mentions Leland only hires young women as PAs and treats them like royalty, maybe because others drove previous assistants away. Vic's loyalty is crucial, though. When Evelyn goes missing after a shopping trip, Vic calls Leland immediately.
And Leland finds her how? This involves his magic.
Yes, this is pretty wild. Leland finds Evelyn's cracked phone and some spilled blood at an outdoor mall. He uses his firelight magic to taste the blood off the wall.
Taste the blood.
And sees her memories of being abducted. He learns she was taken by guys working for Peter Elliott.
The big bad pharma guy.
Very sane. Malin already knew Elliott was evil, insane, involved in all sorts of crime. This just confirms it and makes him personal.
So this really kicks things into high gear. Leland needs backup.
Definitely. He seeks out Laszlo Breeze to remember him. Druid, Ghost Eye, King of Lions.
Right. What is last?
Laszlo confirms Elliott is in the slave trade, mainly women. But his first reaction is kind of cold. Basically tells Leland to just hire another assistant.
But Leland doesn't.
No way. He said Druid mind speak to learn to push Laszlo harder for real information. He's not letting Evelyn go.
Which leads us to the warehouse. Elliott's warehouse. Leland finds Evelyn, chained, unconscious. What happens? This is where things get really strange, right?
Oh yeah, both desperation. A Ginny appears, sheet edge and art. Leland vaguely remembers the story. He grants wishes. Demands she heal Evelyn.
That's the Ginny.
Sheeta plays it out. Says Evelyn's dying. Which isn't quite true. But she says it's safe for a friend.
And Leland.
Whatever it is. This is the shock. Leland has to give half the magic of your soul, specifically. Half his firelight and half his shadows to Evelyn.
Give his magic away. What does that do to her?
It transforms her, turns her into something called a Cobalt, makes her immortal, able to shapeshift into a raven or a ghost. It binds her magically to him. She becomes a slave to the Lunar Dark for his House of Shade.
Wow, a Cobalt. And this was all based on a lie. She wasn't actually dying.
Exactly, she was just knocked out, minor head trauma. Leland finds this out later and is furious, devastated. He thinks he's ruined everything with Evelyn, the woman he realizes he loves, because of this hasty, manipulated wish.
So he essentially forced immortality and this magical binding on her without her consent, based on that information.
Pretty much a total disaster from his perspective. But,
Of course there is. What did the genie say?
the genie admits she didn't just show up randomly. She was ordered to do it by the
Ordered why?
because this transformation was blind. It was apparently necessary for the prophecy to be fulfilled. It wasn't an accident, it was destiny.
How so?
Because now, Evelyn's Lunar Magus magic and Leland's nature as a thrall son, which we learn means a vampire created by a Valkyrie, specifically meant to serve the Lunar Dark, are perfectly linked. He's now magically contracted to be her provider
Provider of what?
of Cedra energy. It's implied to be a kind of potent life force and sexual energy, which she used to power her enhanced magic.
Okay, my head's spinning a bit. Rescue, transformation, accidental binding, secret orders. Where do they go from there?
They're brought to Intisi Asmodee's place, the ghost high queen who ordered the genie. Her hidden enclave is in the catacombs beneath this old historic mansion.
Another powerful ally, then. What's her setup like?
It's significant. The enclave was a gift from Laszlo Grayson, the other ghost high king. But Antitis runs the vampire places. They don't follow the usual humanistic law of roles.
No, what do they?
They seek balance, follow Airly's laws, presumably related to that Airly Lucifer once, and they use special justice rules, which are blood magic barriers more complex than normal shields. It's a serious place.
And it's here that Leland has another realization about the prophecy itself.
This is huge. He finally figures it out. The unlikely king's prophecy, it isn't just predicting the future, it's an active spell.
Spell, written by Leland.
Written by Lucifer himself, in his own way. It's actual chaos magic that is in the dead world. It's not built correctly, it's apparently ripped the dream apart.
Chaos magic. Okay, and Evelyn still has to catch it.
It's the last Lunar Magus for her job. On Devil's
And the target of the spell. You mentioned Peter Elliott.
Right. The target is Peter Elliott, aka Sophia Alias. And we learn more about him too. He's not just a criminal, he's an insane bear shifter and a druid king whose own magic is somehow suppressed, which is part of why the dream is unbalanced.
So stopping him is the first step.
Exactly. Taking him out with this spell is the first domino to fall in, trying to restore balance to the whole dream.
It's kind of amazing how it all connects, isn't it?
Yeah.
Evelyn's mission, Leland being this specific type of vampire, the thrall's son, now magically bound to her as a kobold, the prophecy being a spell, all these allies like Sinclair, Laszlo, in it ties, even the manipulative genie.
It really paints a picture of destiny at work, doesn't it? Everything, even the messed up parts like the force transformation, seems engineered to push them towards this one outcome. They might not understand it, but they're all pieces of this huge magical game.
So, wrapping this up for our listener, what have we really learned here? We've walked through a world where prophecies are literal spells,
Including that.
where relationships, even incredibly complicated ones like Leland and Evelyn, are fundamental to universal balance. These two people, mated but unaware, get slammed together by destiny.
Yeah. You've seen a lonely vampire accidentally turn the woman he's falling for into his immortal magical partner, Cobalt, which just happens to fulfill an ancient prophecy about him being a slave to the Lunar Dark.
And you discover that bringing back Lucifer, the king of devils, isn't about unleashing evil, but maybe about restoring a necessary balance. Flip the script there.
Totally. It shows how, as the text says, the magic made her for him, and he worked to win her. Leland finds his purpose finally. It's not just about continuing to serve Evelyn Darkmoon forever, help her with the scrolls, prepare for Devil's Night.
It's a story about unintended consequences of choices. Accepting who you are, monster parts and all, love, and freedom.
Precisely. Which leaves us with the big question, really. How is Evelyn, now this immortal kobold fused with Leland's magic, going to handle this terrifying mission? casting Lucifer's chaos magic spell on Devil's Night.
And what happens when she and Leland, her literal thrall's son, have to work together against Elliot, against time, to potentially save reality?
Makes you think, doesn't it? If destiny called you, put you in a situation that demanded immense sacrifice to change the very cool, how much would you be willing to give up to answer that?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support. For more, visit opheliakey.com. Welcome to the dream. Sincerely, okay.